The Thinking Machine. As long as I live, I'll never forget my visit to Professor Philo's strange house on Tot Hill. I had come to discuss his remarkable new theory on crystalline rhythm from my magazine, but I was to go away with a story no one would believe. The incredible affair of Professor Philo's thinking machine. It was a dark and threatening night when I reached the foot of Tot Hill, where Professor Philo had his home and laboratory. As I climbed out of my car and looked up at the grim house, there was a flash of lightning and a burst of thunder, almost as if in warning. Phew! I picked a great night to get up a story. Well, might as well go on up. At the door, I was greeted by Professor Philo himself. He was a strange, intense sort. "I'm Tom Leith. I called you about a story from my magazine." "Ah, yes, come in. My assistant trainer is away, but I'll do my best to help you. Those are some of my past experiments. My laboratory is this way." "They look very interesting. Perhaps you'll tell me something about them later." He opened the door to an eerie room filled with much strange equipment and led the way in. "Ah, look at that. Have you ever seen such formation? There is intelligence there. Living intelligence." "What? Do you mean to say that you believe those crystals actually think?" "How else can you explain the intelligent cooperation among the elements of the crystals? They always form in perfect symmetry." "There is something in what you say, but I do not understand." "I venture to say that even a machine, as it works, thinks about its job." "Are you serious? Do you really believe that a machine can think?" "It is just something that man makes and controls." As he answered me, I heard coming from behind the door with the sign "Keep Out" a singular thumping sound. "When it does not control him." "What's that?" "I'll be back in a moment. There's something I must attend to." As I waited, I heard the confused sounds of a struggle issue from behind the closed door and a hoarse whisper. "I'll destroy you." I'm sorry for leaving you so abruptly. Are you all right? What happened?" "Yes, I'm all right now. I have a machine in there that lost its temper and started to cut up." "Professor, is there someone in that room?" "No, there is no one. I was foolish enough to leave a machine in action with nothing to act upon while I was gone. And now, if you'll excuse me, I would like to rest. Perhaps another time. Very well, Professor. I'll come again next week." It was pitch black as I left the strange house and picked my way down the hill. He can't be serious. If he is, he's off the beam. Machines that think. I had gone only a few yards when the storm broke and the rain came down in torrents. Whew, this is awful. I'll never be able to drive in this. I'd better get back to the house. This is a regular cloudburst. I rang the bell and hammered at the door, but there was no answer. I turned the knob, and it opened. I guess he forgot to lock it. He must be back in the lab and can't hear me. I found my way to the lab, but Professor Philo wasn't there. Suddenly my eye caught the "Keep Out" sign on the rear door. Well, that's where he is, in that room. I better let him know I came back. No answer. He's in there, I know it. "Professor Philo! Professor Philo!" Then, for some unknown reason, I tried the handle and opened the forbidden door. I shouldn't do this, but I must. I've got to see what's behind that door. I'll never forget what I saw in that room. No, it can't be. Seated at the chess table was Professor Philo, his face ghostly white, his eyes glittering like diamonds. Opposite him sat a strange, alien thing of monstrous proportions. Those proportions, that thick neck, those arms, that hair. What can it be? "Got you. Let's see you get out of that. You'll never control me. I've got you." All at once, the thought came to me that this monstrous thing was a machine, an automaton, a machine that could think. Suddenly, Philo rose. "Checkmate, do you hear? Checkmate." Then, as Professor Philo glared down at it, it slowly rose from the bench it sat on. It's getting up. Suddenly, a buzzing sound came from it, the whirring of wheels as if a disordered mechanism out of control. "Get back! Sit down!" Then it sprang forward, its awful arms outstretched to grab the professor by the throat. "No! Ah! It's trying to kill him." I tried to rescue the professor. "I'll help you. Hold on." "Ah!" I can't move it. It's like trying to stop a dynamo. Suddenly, the whole room blazed in a blinding light. Then, all was blackness and silence. Ah! 3 days later, I regained consciousness at a hospital. At my side sat Trainer, the professor's assistant. What? What happened? Where's the professor? Buried yesterday. What's left of him. They carried you from the burning house. Who rescued me? I did. The house must have been struck by lightning. That's what the police say. Did you also rescue the product of the professor's genius, that automaton that murdered its inventor? So you know. That, Mr. Leaf, must be our secret forever. That was some years ago. Last week, Trainer died, and today I can tell you this strange tale of adventure. After all these years of silence, I'm not so sure myself it really happened. I wonder.